Hi, I'm Petra, a registered holistic nutritionist and a raw food chef, and in today's video, I'm going to talk about the Vitamix food processor attachment. One of the most frequent questions I get is whether to buy a blender or a food processor. Well, you don't have to choose anymore because about 18 months ago, Vitamix released a food processor attachment. With this attachment, the Vitamix blender has become the most versatile 2-in-1 appliance on the market. A high-speed blender, and a powerful food processor. The Vitamix food processor performs all the functions of a standard food processor: chopping, grating, shredding, slicing, mixing, kneading, all of it. But there are a few things that make it unique. The food processor attachment, number 1, uses Selfdetect technology. Number 2, it is an attachment sitting on a Vitamix base, so it does not come with a separate motor. Number 3, it features accessories that perform multiple functions, making this attachment as minimal as possible without compromising functionality. And number 4, it is really lightweight and compact. Let's address each of these points individually. Number 1, Selfdetect technology. All full-size Vitamix models fall into 3 lines: Explorian, Legacy, and Smart System. The food processor attachment is compatible only with Smart System blenders, and the reason is Selfdetect technology, which allows the blender base to communicate with the container. This is really important because the Vitamix base needs to recognize the container and to know whether it's supposed to act as a blender or a food processor, adjusting up to 140 parameters. Unfortunately, Explorian and Legacy blenders are not equipped with Selfdetect technology and can't communicate with the attachment. The second thing that separates the Vitamix food processor from other food processors is that it is just an attachment. The motor and the interface of the machine depend on the blender you already own or are yet to purchase. Now, even though the Vitamix food processor attachment sits on the blender base with a variable 10-speed dial, program settings, a timer, and so on, it uses only the start and stop function and the pulse function. This means that the food processor operates on one single continuous speed. You can turn the variable speed dial from speed 1 to 10 while the food processor is running, but the speed doesn't change. The same applies to program settings. If the blender base comes with program settings, the only setting that is enabled is self-cleaning. Now, let's look at all the parts the Vitamix food processor consists of: a Selfdetect base, a 12-cup work bowl, a lid, 2 food pushers, an S-blade, 2 reversible discs, and a disk storage case. Most food processors have a twist and lock mechanism, but the Vitamix food processor uses a stack and lock system. The base snaps on with a very sturdy metal latch, and the lid has 2 snaps that lock in place. When you're done with processing, simply press the quick release levers to pop off the work bowl for easy pouring, removing of ingredients, or cleaning. What I love most about this food processor is how compact it is and how all the parts fit together. The storage disk container snaps onto the underside of the lid, which can then be inverted over the work bowl. Now you have everything stored together without any need for a separate bin to store all the accessories. Now, you're probably eager to see how the food processor performs, so let's test it out. First, I'll be using the discs, which are reversible, so you only need 2 to perform 4 different functions. Whichever disc you use, slicing and shredding is really easy. The S-blade is perfect for chopping, kneading, and mixing. Let me show you a few recipes the S-blade is ideal for. Raw desserts including cake crusts, tarts, cookies, energy bars, and so on. In these recipes, you typically want to chop nuts and dried fruit into smaller pieces first, and then mix in the rest of the ingredients. The S-blade allows you to chop and mix without pulverizing or blending. The S-blade is also great for pulsing chickpeas and herbs for falafel, lentils and vegetables for veggie burgers, or nuts and seeds for bread. Again, in all these recipes, you want to retain some of the texture and not blend everything. All these mixtures are also thick and sticky and would not work well in the Vitamix blender. Finally, I also use the food processor to make granola, chickpea breadcrumbs, cauliflower rice, coleslaw, and other recipes that work better in a food processor than a blender. One more thing I want to mention is that I have an entire section on my blog dedicated to Vitamix, including comparisons and reviews, tips and tricks, recipes, and the latest deals. I'll leave a link to all that content in the description box below. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, comment below, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time.